we've got a Mendicant attitude.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I'm playing with the Mendicant core Guidelight. Mendicant core is an Azorius creature that cares about the number of artifacts you control. The more of them you have, the more power it gets. And once you've gone to max speed, you can also start copying your artifact spells on the stack for only 1 mana. This is kind of similar to another blue-white artifacts commander, Urza Prince of Krug, who also copied your artifacts, but it costs 6 mana, and instead of just rewarding you for having lots of artifacts, it buffed your artifact creatures. Mendicant core Guidelight, though, is a great way to play aggressively. You need to hit your opponents, you need to deal damage playing evasive creatures in order to get the speed to go up. But once you get to max speed, you are ready to go. Copying things that have entered the battlefield abilities, copying things that get you even more copies of anything in play, and just rewarding you for playing versatile artifacts, whether those artifacts are removal, if they're ramp, if they're buffing all of your artifacts, making them cheaper. There's so many good things in the artifact builds. It happened to be an arena. Even things like Kappa Cannoneer, who can make itself unblockable and grow and grow and grow over time, or just draw you some cards with the 1 mana Thought Monitor. So let's take the Mendicant core into the queue and start doing Azorius artifacts. Nadu, Winged Wisdom, even with a nerf, a very, very strong commander, able to trigger twice per turn total across all of your creatures and get a lot of value. If I target their creature with things, or if they target their creature with things, they're going to be looking at the top card of their deck if it's a land, putting it into play untapped, or just putting into their hand otherwise. I do have a Swords to Plowshares, probably can't use it to hit their ramp. I probably need to use it to hit their commander. But I'm going to be paying a bunch of life to play some lands in this hand. Okay, well, if it's a halfling, I will take that out. Normally, I'd like to save, like, my removal for Nadu, giving them the trigger. But this is a card I need to remove. It's such good ramp. I will use Amaria's Call next, paying some life, for Mendicant core. Starting my engines. Engines are on. Speed is 1. Ready for fun. Even though this Nadu was nerfed, it's still very, very strong. It's a card that, like, this is honestly what Nadu should have been. This, like, only triggers twice total, but still 3 mana 3/4 flyer stats wise is so nuts. Like, at any time in the game, and the fact that you target it, it gets them cards. Yeah, I don't like when the answer is just board wipe. Nobody likes that. I will tap for the Steel Overseer. I'm doing this to get more damage off the core and also try to get this Emry out for 1 mana. I'm going to do this before attacking in because I don't trust like that. 2 per creature. They didn't finish writing the card. All right. Ooh, lots of goodies now in the graveyard for Emry, Nettlecyst, Thopteryx, and Diversion Unit. So what is it? Unsummon? Yeah, Fading Hope. So that's going to go in my hand. They're going to get to scry. And that's why I played that Emry right away. Once I got priority back and I had the discount, I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. So my speed stays at 1. Dang. And they have 4 mana. Is it Nadu time? Indeed, it is Nadu time. Thopteryx is probably the best bang for my buck here. Or Nettlecyst. Let's go Nettlecyst. Notably, it is not an artifact creature, so Steel Overseer can't buff it. Oh. I mean, I'll take that. I'll bring the core back out, maybe? Do I want to use this? It's like one of those things where, like, they probably will find some, like, auras and stuff. Yeah, I want to pay more life and save these just so number is higher. And I'm not going to bother waiting. I'm just going to chunk. I don't have a single least favorite card to play against. There's a lot of ones that are real tough. Things that remove, like, all of my creatures' abilities. Those are hard. This Roaring Earth is going to get them 2 triggers this turn. They can also get triggers on my turn. It's per each player's turn. And I sure did not fix that part of Nadu. And look at all those counters. Since they found a land on Nadu's ability, they got even more. And now with these boots... Rootin' tootin' bootin' Nadootin'. Swinging for 6 in the air. And now I'm gonna go for that Thopteryx, because it's, bird heck. Yeah, there's birds happening here. Excellent. Doing the thing, doing the thing. Swinging in. And now I do have a lifelink here, so maybe I can start gaining stuff back as I use the Overseer to buff all these artifact creatures. Urza's Construction Drone, great card in these artifact decks where you have a lot of things that have colorless mana in their costs, because it actually puts Urzatron in your deck and then gets you Urzatron as it attacks or dies. Combat Research! It gets some ward, it already is hexproof, and it's going to be drawing them cards when it hits me. I think it's draw a card on hit, right? Yep. Angled Fortahedron, just a funky little guy. They could throw down this safekeeping just to try and get triggers from everything else. Or they could scooch around the boots, because that just costs mana, no cards, in order to get some card advantage. They could even tap this, but that puts them more at risk of being bonked by all my critters. Did they already get their 2 triggers? Yeah, they already got their 2 triggers. Alright, let me just quickly... That's 2 life. So I would potentially have lethal, but no, because I can't get rid of that. Nope. No blocks. I'll let you draw. I want Nettle Cyst, and I'm going to equip it to the Thopteryx to try to gain a ton of life. Oh, my kitty cat's coming in. For anybody who didn't know, my cat was actually kind of sick the last few days, but she's doing much, much better now. She went to the vet. They helped her out. Yeah, it was a good girl. She's a good girl. And I think a Turbo Chungus Thopteryx is going to be GG. Even with their 2 mana up, they can't stop Emry from recurring all this stuff from the graveyard. GG. It's another Mendicant Core Guidelight. Glad to see other people trying this out because it's a really cool commander. I've got a tap land to start into a Thopteryx, so I can maybe swing in, or maybe I want to play Mendicant Core and hold up some removal for the turn after. You know what? I want to start my engines first things first. It's the core! Very colorless. Very jail. Rip. Okay, well, I'll take it out of jail. And... ramp. So I can play this funky little Thopteryx. That would have helped protect me. But I didn't want to play them in that order. Grandpa! They can blink the Glasket. Yo, let's go, Grandpa. What's your ward? Ward 2? I'm gonna steal Grandpa. Yes. I take Grandpa, and I put his soul in my shield. And then I get my engines up to speed 2. Good bird. Good dinosaur thopter. It's nice that Watley built something to show her love for Saheeli. Like, look, you taught me how to make robots. I made a robot of a dinosaur. That's what I know. Yugi's grandpa coming for me? Yeah, well, he can do his best. Let's get fun with the immortal sun. Getting +1/+1, discounting all my spells, and drawing me additional cards. It also is legendary, so it has ward 2. Speed is 3. Their speed, 0. They haven't even started their engines. They're not even in this race. The core. I wonder what they'll do with the rest of the mana. Tune the narrative. That's not an artifact. What's the energy for? Dunno, but I want to get my speed up. 4 speed means I can play Mendicant Core and use its ability. It's being discounted by Immortal Sun. And I think I will make 2 copies of Nettlecyst or Urza's Construction Drone. 2 Nettlecyst. The Construction Zone would get buffs from Urza. But having this as just an equipment that I can move around, maybe putting it onto the Thopteryx for like a huge swing next turn, that's really tempting. I'm going to name white on that. Maybe they're running Aetherflux Marvel or similar? Maybe. Definitely don't need a land. I can turn one of these germs into Grandpa. Hey, one of you germs want to become Grandpa? This is, you have to ask. It would be impolite not to. Speed's 1. They don't have a good swing on the ground right now since I've got these giant glass giant nettle cysted germs. But if they can get the glass casket to blink or make copies of it, that would take them out. No, they're going to reverse engineer. They did not tap the glass casket for that, which is weird to me. It's like that's free real estate. Sacrificing it, okay. And who do you exile? Artifact or creature. You can hit the cyst, which kills the germ. Oh, no, it doesn't kill the germ because of Immortal Sun. It mostly kills the germ. $14, $15, $16, $17 before I play anything else. $19. Oh, Jolted Awake. Welcome back, Glass Casket. You gonna take out my germ? This has ward, so they can't hit that, but they could hit germ or Thopteryx. Oh, yes. Okay, this is something I really love doing in this deck, so I gotta put full control mode on for it. The Might Stone and Weak Stone. I would like to make a copy of it, yes. And yeah, I put full control mode on. I guess I'll kill a thing. So I could tap it for 2 mana. Keeping this one. Getting some of these, some of those, one of thems. Do I feel like going for the drones or Prince of Krugen and equip? I probably like should have done the math to be like, is this lethal? But sometimes you don't feel like doing the math. I will give the Thopteryx this because it does have lifelink. And I still have 2 more mana. Just not enough to double. And that looks like lethal. Nice. Let's go. Swinging in and ending the game. GG, fellow core. Hashton, Scarabs, Fist. This is a deck I need to build because that's a scary commander. Hashton is able to reanimate on discard, making it so as you discard, you can pay 3 mana to make a copy of the card. It doesn't exile it or anything, just makes a copy of the card, except it's a zombie. I think Hashton has the potential to be absurdly good because it's hard to interact with this ability because usually discarding is part of the cost. Let's go ahead and get the Surveil land to start. I'm gonna drop that. It's like I have mana in hand. I don't really feel I need it. And I don't feel I need this ramp. So I'm going to start by starting my engines, playing the Mendicant core. So maybe I can swing in with it next turn. I feel like I can beat Hashton in combat. If they went to play Hashton, that's a little bit risky. I feel like you don't usually want to play it until you're ready to, well, ready to party. This has flash. I'm going to cast it at sorcery speed. This is more vulnerable to board wipes, but I want to be aggressive and deal more damage. It's insane CDH because you can't interact with Thassa's Oracle. Nope, you have to have something that can counter an ability, which they don't have to like pay and then it gets countered. It's like when you do, it's happening. And they reanimated Jingataxis. So they're going to be drawing a ton of cards here. And normally this would make me discard. They could have a free counter spell. They might, like a commandeer type thing. I'm going to tell them to get lost. I'm going to just be like, Jingataxis, you nasty, get out of here. Jingataxis, you nasty, get out of here. Speed is 3. They do have some maps, though, as a result of me telling him to get lost. Bloodchief's Thirst takes 1 mana to kill my commander. I have a way to use it from the graveyard, but against a deck that has blue in it, I don't feel that confident about it. Well, Esper Sentinel, because I need this to be proactive. I can flash out the Ornithopter, or Cogwork Progenitor. Speed is maximum, but Mendicant Core's not in play, and I don't actually have, like, the stuff. Hey, do you want to pay the 1? Yes, a land! Okay, sweet. I can't play it, but, like, sweet, I have a land. Did I even say what Liberator does? Liberator lets me flash out artifacts and colorless things. Pass to attackers. No attacks, no blocks. Pass to the end of the turn. They're not using the maps. They might have a way to discard and reanimate. I don't know. At least I have mana. As I mentioned before, it's usually part of the cost. One of my favorite things to do with this deck, that I was doing a ton while I was testing it, was actually using Mightstone and Weakstone, putting on full control so I could, like, use the copy of it. Okay, so they're just holding a counter spell. Liberator, you just gonna be a little nice clean kill here? Urza will let this deal some serious damage too. Oh, my artifact creatures getting +2/+2, asking, do you pay the 3? I like that Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter, does not give Urza flash. A fatal push on the Sentinel. Do you pay the 1? They did. Still 3 mana up. Swinging in. And I believe that Urza will close this out if it resolves. So let's find out. Urza, Prince of Krug, gets a +1/+1 counter, then gives each of these +2/+2. 8 damage, all it takes. And Fateful Absence. Boo. Overlord of the Mistmorse will get them some blockers in the air, these 2/1 white insect tokens, even if it's brought in tapped with Hashton. I'm trying to decide if I want to animate the Restless Anchorage. Yes, I do. Making more maps. Thirst for discovery. And they discarded creatures. They're reanimating a creature. They get some blockers. And they could choose to block each of these or double block. But that would, like... It wouldn't kill this because it has an extra counter. This will be able to attack next turn. I'm going to just try to spread the love in the air. And fail to do so. I will exile Esper Sentinel from my graveyard for a Cogwort Progenitor to find me a Chief of the Foundry. This is not an artifact creature, it just makes the maps. So let's see, they've got up to 2 blockers in the air from the Overlord. This lets them discard on demand the Hallow Blade. 3, 4. I'm trying to see if I have enough to, like, flash out this, then this, and double it. And the answer is I do, but it's not an amazing move here. But I want to do it anyway because it's cool. It's one of those, like, I'm using all the pieces. So I'll swing in with these 2. And we go to the core! Please stop having counter spells, too. They countered a bunch of stuff and killed a bunch of stuff before. Nice. Gonna make use of that max speed. Engage. Chunky. I will again exile from my graveyard for card advantage. Getting me a 1/1 Immortal Sun. Hey, you know, normally it's not even a creature, so that's an improvement. The only thing that Cogwort Progenitor does not work well with is equipments. Because if something is an equipment creature and it doesn't have reconfigure, it's just useless. It just sits there. Hey, that's a lot of those. So they made a copy of Talk, who tripled their bugs. I see. Oh my god, that's something that can get me unblockable damage. Okay. It has improvise. And flash as long as Liberator's alive. So I'm going to swing in with all these bad boys. They're trading a bunch of their flyers to take out some of mine, leaving them with one moth opportunity. Sure, I'll eat the ornithopter. Nice, a 1/1 Mind Stone. Let me just actually double check some mana here. Yes. That's chill. The creature can't tap for mana, but it can still be used to improvise. What is that? Herald of Eternal Dawn. And there's 3 of them. Yep. Oh dear, yes. Oh dear indeed. Sure, I can deal lethal damage to them. Doesn't matter. So this is 14 damage coming in. So I want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Leaving open this, so I get a second one. Chicken, thank you for the sub. Tortoise. Alright, this lets me put one of those back into their deck. Then another one into their deck. And I'm gonna just sacrifice a Mind Stone. Cool orb. May as well attack with something that brings them below 0. They don't die. There's none left in my graveyard. I guess I'll munch up the map. The boots don't fly. The boots don't have flying. Nor can I equip them at instant speed. Or equip them at all because they're creatures. Well, they swing in. Lethal damage is dealt. And I was personally hoping for a draw, having this die at the same time lethal damage is dealt, but nope. They win the game. GG, Hashton. Jadzi, Oracle of Arcavios. This is oftentimes a bit of a combo deck, putting tons of lands into play and using the front side of Jadzi in order to get a ton of value. Free spells cast. I think this is keepable. I have enough mana to play Mendicant Core on 2, though they do go first. And oof, that's not what I want to be seeing right away from them. I'll start by playing this, though. Getting in Miss Land tapped. Hi, Tamio. She's going to swing in, and she's going to make clues. Those clues are good for drawing, but you need some cards in hand, mostly to just get more lands into play with the Journey to the Oracle. This backside, it is like, if you cast an instant or sorcery, you can get a free spell. And I'm just hoping that this person is not in Counterspell City, though oftentimes Jadzi decks are. Nope, good. Mendicant Core landed, and we have started our engines. Getting to speed 1. And them to clue 2. Nissa is something that is a problem, so I'm going to get rid of her. The landfall is, like what I mentioned with Journey to the Oracle, is very scary, so I will assimilate. And now I can turn one of my creatures into a Nissa, if I need to, and if I have 2 mana to spare. It's probably going to be a good idea at times. Ooh, I want discounts. Oh, but I can't use the discounts right now. Let's just go to combat. Because I don't know what they have, but they do have 3 mana. I'd be getting in more damage if I play these first. I have a comfortable amount of fear around Simic decks. I managed to get quite a few lands. And I'm also almost at max speed. So I can start duplicating. They shocked in the breeding pool. They have 6 cards in hand. But why nothing else? Because this isn't something that works to be duplicated. It's artifact, but it's a legendary. I'm gonna play it first. Swinging in with both Mendicant Core and the Voyager Quick Welder. It's a blue creature, that's why it's doing this loot ability. I'll drop this plains. And the pet is zipping across the battlefield. Yeah, you're just excited to see your daddy doing work. Nice! Maximum speed acquired! So I can duplicate some stuff here, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the Urza's Construction Drone and duplicate it. This is going to put 2 copies each of the Urza lands into my deck. And whenever I attack, or when these die, I'll get a copy. So what I've essentially done is I've diluted the ability of getting specific ones so I can immediately get the Urzatron. But there's more of them, so I can potentially get even more mana. Bouncing the Assimilation Aegis to get Nissa back. Makes sense, because landfall's big. Dryad, letting them play even more lands per turn, getting even more landfall, and also Nissa's other ability, which just grabbed them. Oh no, the thing that doubles landfalls! Ancient Green Warden. Also lets them replay those lands from the graveyard. Right now, Are there any fetches in the grave? There's no fetches in the grave. There's no lands in the grave, but that could easily change. Kitsa! Otter Ball Elite. Can double spells, like Journey to the Oracle. I think I'm gonna want to make some more duplicates here. So I'll play the Assimilation Aegis. Make 2 of them, take out 2 blockers, and then this swing will be pretty darn big, but it'll be even bigger if I can give some things flying. GG, Jadzi. Looks like another Mendicant Core Guidelight. I have a completely useless hand here with only 1 land in it. This is definitely better. I don't just have a land, I have a turn 1 evasive creature. So once I start my engines, I can start revving up my speed to 4. Perfect. Looks like they mulliganed. Are they picking out their cards? Oh, is that a double mulligan? It was. Start with Otawara and throw down Gingerbrew. Get my first damage in. My engines aren't started. I do have the colorless start your engine lands, but it's okay. I don't need my speed to be that high. Hey, wait a minute. You're not a robot. Engine up. Would you like to trade to prevent my speed? Nope. There is unfortunately no start your engines land that lets you curve into Mendicant Core because all the start your engine lands are colorless. Which, oh well, too bad, so sad. Have a Skrelv. Make this unblockable and swing in with both. How many achievements have I unlocked so far? I don't actually know. I haven't intentionally unlocked any of them. It's just been like me playing Brawl and happening to unlock them. Speed is 3 as well. Nice archway of innovation. Giving things improvise. That's smart. I actually feel like you don't name robot on this. I feel like you name construct. It doesn't really matter with this hand, though. I am still gonna name robots. And I'm trying to think of which of these I want to double. Because I can double this or this. Gonna pay 2 life. Get you through. Lovely. Speed is 4. How about a bit of double assimilation? While they can't use that Storm Tamer, I'm going to exile it. And I'm also going to exile their Quick Welder. Not too afraid of the Mendicant Core. I can block it. I don't want them getting discounts. And I guess that's a speedy enough lead to secure victory. GG. Sigarda, Host of the Heavens. Is this the one that gives you hexproof? I'm going to have to double check. It has hexproof, and spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to sacrifice permanents. Nice. That's just a really helpful ability to have. Not as helpful against these colors, but still, like, nice. They're nice to have. It's helpful. I'll start by just not paying 3 life to get this in tapped. And they're ramping a Utopia Sprawl. I could put that in a hole. That sounds good. I'd love to start my engines there, but as many of us have dealt with before, turn 1 ramp, if you can stop it, if you can bolt the bird, you do. And I can't also, I don't know, slap the Sanctum Weaver. I don't have the ability to do that. But I can either start my engine, set up some discounts, or look to do some graveyard shenanigans. I'm going to do the discount here, because then I might have Mightstone and Weakstone next turn to remove something. I can take out this. If they play another creature that has at least 5 or less toughness, nice. I can get rid of it. Whack the Weaver. I like Whack the Weaver. That's good. Do you think this is going to be Sigarda Voltron? You know, she is hexproof. And that's a Sanctum Weaver. I think it totally could be a Selesnya Enchantress Sigarda Voltron deck. You stand some Voltron. Yeah. Okay, they've continued to ramp. Baffling End on the Quick Welder. And an Allosaurus Shepherd. I don't actually have many counter spells in this deck, but that is still a smart thing to get into play. I'm going to start my engines and then play this Marsh Flats. Marsh Flats, very helpful here since I can use it to get the Surveil land. You are Baffle. It is End. Prismatic Vista. Do I want another land here? I don't think I need one. Mightstone and Weakstone can't kill Sigarda. So I won't bother. I'm going to instead go for the Salvation Engine, and I'm going to swing in for 5. Jump blocking with Llanowar Elf, so the speed does not go up. Numbers stay down. Yeah, Sanctum Weaver currently tapping for 2 mana, and it is like their only white source outside of Temple Garden. Before it was their only white source. Now they have plenty of white. Allosaurus Shepherd, I guess you have enough mana to turn it into a 5/5. No, they don't. Satyr Enchanter. Yeah, this is, in fact, a Sigarda Voltron deck. Cool. I don't think I've seen one of those before in Arena. Okay, you have crew 6. And can't get anything currently back from the graveyard. Going to go for killing a guy. Their card advantage piece there. And the Scrap Trawler. And I can attack with the Mendicant Core or the Salvation Engine. And I'm going to go for the Salvation Engine just because it's a safer attack. Normally this has a really great ability, which like if they killed the core, nice. But I can't crew. The Scrap Crawler's not quite big enough. So I just want to make sure I'm getting this down, I'm getting some damage in, and speed go up. Emery! Hey, you might put a artifact into the graveyard. You mill when you enter. See what you got? Many artifacts in the graveyard. Perfect. I will crew with both of these. And swing with both of them. Remember, this can become a big boy. I'll get the Liberator. Not double blocking the Salvation Engine. Okay. I'm surprised that they didn't like double block, go for the Indestructible. I think they realized after that they could, because I saw them like, oh, yeah, number. I'll make it seem like I have something, because I can now cast any of my artifacts with Flash. Voltron piece acquired. She now has Trample, also +1/+1, and this taps for 3. Oh, the audacity. Giving the Shepherd the same buff. Except it draws when it leaves, not when it enters. I think more things should be flying here. Wait, let me tap first. Grab the Signet. Pop a Nat down using Mightstone. Then a full cost Steel Seraph. I have to do it pre-combat. Just crew it. I'm gonna give it flying. And everyone in! I wonder if I should have given the Mendicant core flying because it's 10 damage. Look at how big that thing got. Beautiful. I don't think you blocked enough. They were unwilling to sacrifice the Sanctum Weaver. And lethal damage is going through. GG. Geru and Hazer swings in to summon legends. Also gets vigilance and haste if your hand is mostly empty. I've got a turn 1 bolt land that I do not want to bolt with. So I'm going to throw that down. And now I have some evasive creatures, some start your engine, something that just gets big. Is not actually an artifact creature itself. Derms are cute though. Look at this thing. That's a little guy. Gold Forged Thoptrix, great way for me to protect Mendicant core. But it didn't resolve because they null elemental blasted. I'm sorry. What kind of Geru and Hazer deck are you? Are you an Eldrazi deck? Huh. I'm gonna name a robot here. Bring out the Nettle Cyst. I mean, this does cast the card. And there are some really good legendary creatures that you could cast for free that are Eldrazi. Seeing that Null Elemental Blast makes me feel like, yeah, this might be an Eldrazi deck. It's either that or they're just playing something spicy. Something real feisty. Something kind of stanky. Okay, I'll take a basic. Oh, I meant to equip that with the last mana. That's my bad. Pretend I did. Pretend this has 4 power. Do you guys hear the sticky keys sound? So here comes Geru with haste and Hazer. Hazard's the one giving the haste. And they hit Linvala, Keeper of Silence. This is not an activated ability, but some other things in the deck do have activated abilities. I mean, it was all according to plan, right? Except, oh, I guess he'll have 3 power by the time that resolves. Killing both of these is probably smart. But do I want to do a smart thing or do I want to do a big fun thing? Big, fun, indestructible thing. I'm going to play this Steel Seraph. 1, 2, apologies for the delay. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. I will give you Vigilance to swing in. Chump blocking with the Linvala. May as well get big, more dumb stuff. I don't know. If they are running Eldrazi, those are on-cast triggers, which is something I do need to be a little more worried about. Like Kozilek, Broken Reality. That one's actually not too bad to hit me. They are indeed playing Eldrazi in their deck. If they have a way to get rid of this, Mendicant core will die. That works. Kozilek! Broken Reality! I have to manifest 2 cards. I will go White Suns, Twilight, and Mystic Forge. They did not choose to manifest anything. and whichever thing survives this will get the glory of being glyphed. There's only one 2-power thing in play. It's this Mystic Forge. Speed of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can replay this next turn. Kind of want to put that Chrome Mox in a hole. Ooh, I could also blast something. Yeah, that's probably good. I will use the portable hole. Hit the Chrome Mox. Ooh, I could go for Cannoneer instead. It's really good for getting speed damage through. It's also just like a threat that grows. I'm going to play this Kappa Cannoneer. Because they'll have enough mana even if I destroy one more rock. But I will pay 3 life to equip the Nettle Cyst to the Cannoneer. Nice. It's a 9/9. And if I have an artifact enter, it can't be blocked on that turn. It will also keep growing. This card, by the way, is so ridiculous. It was printed out of the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty precons. I think it was part of the Shurikai deck, which is like Shurikai's nuts on its own. But Kappa Cannoneer is so ridiculous power level wise that it got reprinted in a Modern Horizons set. It's Blastoise. It's so cool. Aowen! Ooh, do they have 4 mana? They totally do. They can break right through that ward, exile this permanently, and they also get some protection. Reflection Net does let me take out Aowen, but I don't think I need that here, and I'd rather double it in the future. So here I'm going to equip this with the Nettle Cyst. They're keeping me off of speed 4. Ward 4 not enough. Apparently not. They only have 1 card in hand, so she does have haste, and she swings in and finds Emrakul, the world anew. Well, we know that they're gonna steal my creature. So, yeah. Annoyingly, Reflection Net can't hit this because the way it's worded, protection from permanents that were cast this turn. Yep. I need 2 mana in order to swap where the Nettle Cyst is. So this is a really weird prison card once you flip it over. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during their turn, they can't attack you. And every opponent who attacked you can't cast spells. So they play Geru and hazer it, which means they can't attack. They'll just be able to play this again, but if they want to play it again, they can't attack. I do have Verm Spiral Machine. Also, if they want to attack me, then, like, I can start swinging in. Because, like, yeah, it's a 12/12. It's scary. Ooh, chaining my Wanderglyph to the rocks. If I can get rid of this, which I don't have that many ways to do, but there are some ways. I've already kind of given up one of them. This would come back and destroy things, right? Oh no, it's only if you cast it. Curse you if you cast it. Some of the worst text. How dare they put that on a card? I wish I could have 2 Verm Spirals. Aww. We all wish we could have 2 worm spirals. Ossification, they found more exiling removal, so I don't even get the death touch and life linking mini worms. They swing in for 17 and find Big Mama Norn. Doesn't matter though, 17 life is all it takes to take me out of the game. GG, Geru and Hazer. Nissa, Steward of Elements. Me, having a Skrelv and a Sai. I love to see those in an artifact deck. Skrelv protecting me, and Sai spitting out lots of little evasive Thopters. This Nissa has an X in her cost, and the amount of loyalty she has determines if this 0 ability does anything. Looks at the top card of your deck. If it's a land or a creature that has a lesser than or equal to mana compared to her loyalty, you get it in play for free. You use her scry usually to set it up, but I've seen this as like a Simic land ramp deck before. I've also seen it as like a scry payoff deck, but that was much jankier. Let's see if this resolves, because I'd love to have some speed. Nice. Speed of 1, and now speed of 2. We could leave Skrelv back to protect the core, but the core doesn't need to be in play for the speed to go up. We just want the core in play as this like aggressive creature. This is great. Everybody loves some speed? Yeah! It's what we're doing. Speed. Shifting Ceratops, protection from blue, can't be countered. Truly a card meant to devastate us. And it probably will, eventually. I'm going to play Sai. I'm going to pay some life. Ow, oosh, owie. Oh, whoops, I meant to type green there. My bad, sorry, oops. I was going to click green so I could get the damage in, but sometimes your finger slips and you touch it bad. In my defense, it's very chilly in my apartment and my fingers are numb. But this time I'll get it. My Ceratops. Gonna grab Pock. I can now turn something into Pock. This time I'm gonna click right. I'll pay all the life in the world. Okay. Green. I'm gonna see, I'm keeping my mouse off it. There we go. Excuse me? Speed. Up! Did y'all like that little affinity play too? I love a 1 mana 3/4. That's great. This guy's excited about it too. We got value. Nissa being cast for X equals 3, leaving up 1 green and a fetch land. I wonder if they're gonna get the surveil land to check the top. Oh, just a Tangled Islet, and whatever was on top wasn't a land or cost more than 3 mana. That's an artifact. Boop. Paying the life, because I know how I want my mana. Green? And shifting Ceratops can get reach. They're not paying the 1 to give a reach, though. We now get to max speed, I think. Vroom. And I will copy the scrap trawler, so when my stuff dies, I get more stuff back from the graveyard. One of the things that's nice about Scrap Trawler in this deck is that it can bring back Mendicant Core. Pretty good. You see they were going to give it reach to protect their commander, and yet they didn't. I'm happy about it. GG, Nissa. Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. They're going to be spilling out tons of artifacts just like us, but theirs will focus more on ramp, on control, and on just being there, because kind of like how Mendicant Core gets more power, Tezzeret drains you with the Claw. I do not have a second white source, but maybe I can surveil to it. The Claw, by the way, is the +2 ability. If it gets activated, it will probably kill me, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because it is, in fact, a giant claw that comes down from the top of the screen and drains you for life. That's actually, looks like a good creature start for them. There's a new spell in Dimir Colors that does a similar thing, too. It's really rad. I think that Tezzeret's a cool commander. Okay, Reflection Net. I already have some creature removal here off the Swords to Plowshares. Gonna toss down the core, start my engines! Nice, and a Bank Buster. I have this Galma, but what I'd really like is a Steel Overseer. I could have also used that to copy a land, get out Emry. Ooh, they're sacrificing the Overseer. They really want to keep me off my speed increase. Oh, and it's because they had a board wipe anyway. Toxic Deluge, as I said, a more control focus than my deck. I could go for Galma, Solemn Simulacrum. I like the Simulacrum, just get that ramp going. Yes, please. And I would like a white source. Galma's great if I can get it to attack. It's not an artifact creature, but it makes artifact creatures and then gets me these tempered steals. Trophy Mage. What do you find? Maybe Midnight Clock? Ooh, Foundry Inspector. Not actually discounting anything too major right here. But in the future turns it will. Gonna put the Bank Buster in a hole. Emry. Gotta do it before this dies. And then I can recast it. For less mana. Thank you, Foundry Inspector. I might just get, like, Damnationed here. Nope, looks like it's a win. GG, Tezzeret. Pent, Laza, Sun Favor, the dino that discovers, going to be getting them tons of value just by having a dinosaur enter each turn. Sometimes it's also a blink commander, but more often it's dinosaurs. Because Pent Laza is so sweet, the more dinos you play, the more stuff you can get, just only once per turn. But if you blink Pent Laza, well, then Pent Laza will trigger more than once a turn. I think I'm going to just go for paying tons of life. Even though this is a Naya deck and it's a dino deck, I don't think it'll be too crazy aggressive. So I am going to Marsh Flats into Hallowed Fountain, paying 3 life to get out something that can let me pay even more life. Oh, nice. A land that does not cost life. I was totally going to bolt this in. So I can go speed 1, 2, speed 2. I'm accelerating. More speed, more fun, and Skrelv can help protect the core. Metallic Mimic naming dinosaurs. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to play the Seat of the Synod. And then Thran Spider. This is going to give each of us an artifact. And then I'm going to swing in with both of these. You want to trade? Awesome. That's 5 damage to their face because we got some extra artifacts here. I also ramped them, but they may not actually be able to use this Power Stone. It's going to depend on what they have. Ooh, a Hammer Skull! I kind of want a Hammer Skull. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to use this Reflection Net. And I know it's like, if I use the Get Lost, then I'm going to be at max speed. But I don't have great mana for that, so get the max speed and use it next turn. Maybe. Okay, Muragonda Raceway, you're a little late, buddy. Can Skrelv not name colorless? Nope. Only colors. And the aggro takes him down. Scaling that aggro crag with Mendicant Core. Gretchen Titch Willow. Ooh, I hate Gretchen Titch Willow. She comes in, sits around, and just gets you lands, but only if you didn't already use your mana for a counter spell. I'll bring out this Amaria's Call to start, bringing it out tapped. And I should also mention, she's big enough that she can block the core. Until I make it huge using Urza Prince of Krug. That would be nice. Still going to lead with my commander. Yeah, Gretchen is a Simic Flash / Landfall commander. She can do it both, so she does. Scythe Cat Cub, that's a landfall card, so might show us what direction they're taking this deck. And I'm going to swing in here with the Mendicant Core. Now, it looks like it's a 1/3. They are rightfully suspicious. If they had blocked, I would have tossed out Liberator Urza's Battlethopter to give it an additional power. A Roaring Earth. Going for even more landfall stuff? Okay. I want more mana on my next turn, so I can get out these bad boys. And more lands are happening. The second trigger will double the number of counters. So that's going to go up to 4. They can't, like, put a counter onto that. Wonderful mana! Just gonna grab a plains here. You know, I shouldn't be the only one who has artifacts. Have some artifacts! I assume they're going to block here. Yep. The cat is staring at me from the doorway. Hello, young lady. Would you like to come in here? You know you're allowed in here. You're so silly. I love cats. They're ridiculous. Training Grounds is going to reduce Gretchen's ability to only cost 2 mana. Drawing, putting in lands. Yeah, the thing I have to be, I think, wariest about are cards like Training Grounds against them. And also cards like, I was about to say Lotus Cobra and Nissa. The landfall get a mana, Tireless Provisioner as well. They're so scary. I need number go up. It's not just Lotus Cobra, it's a Lotus Cobra that can go like pseudo infinite with Gretchen. I need more land, so I'm grabbing some. Yeah, Nissa also gets them additional elves and elementals. No! My cool stuff! Fine, at least that's what they spent their turn on. Could have been worse. I kind of like these. Normally I would save them when they're like tapped out. But I'm just going to do this right now. I want max speed. I'm also going to prioritize playing the legends because those are things I can't copy with the core. And use Gretchen with MDFCs. Only if the front face were a land, which they don't really do that unless it's the pathways. Hello, cat. Would you like to come up and be in the video? It's very nice that you come into the room sometimes. Yeah, there's a cute little kitty scrambling around. I know. She was thinking about being on stream, but I don't think she wanted to. You thinking about playing some Civ? Cool. I'll be done recording this in like 40 minutes, I think. I'll let you know. Nice. My partner has been playing some Civ on my channel, Civilization 7, because he's just that awesome. I could have done this at instant speed. I don't care enough to wait. Speed is maximum! Having 2 salvation engines probably also would have been good, but I'm behind on mana, so I'm doing it now. Right now, there are no artifacts in my graveyard, but if they kill one of these, I can get it back. This is going to double triggered abilities, such as Nissa. So each land entering is going to get them 1 mana from the land and 2 from the Nissa, which is enough to activate Gretchen 1.5 times. So if they keep getting lands, they're going to keep getting more mana. And with this Ancient Green Warden being the first elemental that they found, this will double their landfall abilities, working, yes, with the Fractured Realm, and also allow them to replay the fetch land, Fabled Passage, from their graveyard, repeatedly. Oh no! They're cooking. Okay, looks like they whiffed on a land. Thank goodness. Scraps, what are you up to? You are so cute. Yes, you! Yes, you're a small girl. And I love you dearly. What are my thoughts on Mendicant Core? I like it because it's a cheap artifact creature commander that's in blue-white. Also, I'm swinging in for damage. Loadsy damage. Force him to block. What if I should have done Urza? I wanted double stuff. Nice. Their creatures, dead. Their life total, 6. My cat, sitting behind me. Yeah, Nick's been playing Civ 7 on my stream sometimes. He's so good at it. Everybody gets to see how cool my partner is and how good he is at strategy. Okay, I reach down to pick her up and she runs out of the room. Girl, make up your mind. Do you want attention or not? Go hang out with Nick. He's playing Elden Ring. She's coming back in. Cats. They're just like this. It's silly baby time. It's always silly baby time when you have a cat. So Gretchen is activating and activating and activating. Sure. And losing the game. GG Gretchen. And let's go Mendicant Core. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. Mendicant Core was great, and I think that you could even build this deck to be more aggressive, adding more 1- and 2-drop artifacts and more ways to buff your artifacts, like getting, instead of just Golem of the Shaper, just more copies of Tempered Steel-like abilities. Or I think that you could take this deck in a more tempo build, where you're running more instant speed counter spells, removal, and just supporting the Mendicant Core while you only copy a couple key artifacts rather than any artifacts that you kind of like. This deck is absolutely home to some of my favorite cards. I actually took out one of them during the build, which is, well, it was Sharding Sphinx. I love Sharding Sphinx so much, but it just couldn't make it through the cut. Not when it's dealing with so many other really fun artifacts like the Worm Coil Engine. Hey, they cost about the same amount of mana, so you may as well play both. This deck, though, is really fun to get to pilot. I like Azorius artifacts, and I like that I can run an Azorius deck that's not full of counter spells and board wipes. We even have board wipes in this deck, the Unstable Glitch Bridge and the White Sun's Twilight, which are artifact-related board wipes, which I feel really fit the theme, but the only counterspell I've got in this deck is the Mana Drain, because, well, it's Mana Drain. If you're running a mostly or partly blue deck, Mana Drain is just a card that you can throw in. If you're looking for my deck list, you can find it in the description below, and if you would like to build your own, let me know what you're running. Let me know how you took your Mendicant Core, if you made it more aggressive, less aggressive, and more control-ish. There's so many different ways you can build a creature that's this good. I do also want to say that I am still open to suggestions for new commanders. We've got a ton of them. Some of the ones you saw today, like Hashton, I still need to brew because Hashton is amazing. And I really want to start making these token copies of creatures and doing big reanimation stuff. I'm so ready for this. I'm so ready for all of the cool cards in Aether Drift. Even though the set doesn't speak to me on like a, story level, I do really like a lot of the cards in it. And I think that it's got a couple like real banger commanders, especially for 1v1. So I've been enjoying it so far. I also do want to say I have a video that I'm in on Tolarian Community College. I am in the most recent episode of Shuffle Up and Play, and in that episode I am playing Brawl. That's right, I'm playing Arena Brawl, but I'm doing it in paper with Legend VD, the Professor, and Covert Go Blue. So if you want to have a good time, go check out Shuffle Up and Play. The episode is a hoot, and it's very fun to make digital-only things happen in paper. It takes a lot of extra work. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.